Great. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Women Deliver 2026 Conference Information Webinar. Changing Changes calls us here today. So this is July 16, but we are in different parts of the world. I'm joining from Ethiopia, so it is 8 a.m. for me. And in Australia, in the Pacific region, it is around in the afternoon for you, but we also have our colleagues who are joining us from the US, which is actually Tuesday for them. So even though it's Tuesday, Wednesday morning for me, but that's the beauty of our conference. I mean, like where we work in different parts of the world and how we work. So uh, thank you for joining us. Next slide, please. Okay, before we start, let me just share some housekeeping notes. So, just for you to know that the webinar is being recorded, we'll be sharing it on our YouTube channel afterwards, and we'll have simultaneous interpretations is available in French, Spanish, and international sign language. Please note that there is a globe on the bottom of your screen on the Zoom where you can choose the different languages. For international sign language, please use the link which says American Sign Language. We apologize for that. It doesn't say the Zoom doesn't say international sign language, but if you want the international language sign language, please use the one which says the American Sign Language. For the other languages, you can choose English, French, and Spanish. Uh, and you can also turn on the closed captioning options, also available on your Zoom. And if you have any questions for us, you can use or you can submit all your questions via the Q&A and sessions, and we'll also respond live for you. Thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you all. My name is Samson Tasfaye. I'm a senior advisor for convenings at Women Deliver. And I would like to welcome you all to the Women Deliver 2026 webinar. Uh, I'll start by we acknowledge the Wurundjeri people and the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the Narrm, where the conference will be held. We pay respect to their elders, past and present, and recognize their continuing connection to land, waters, and culture. We pay respect to the traditional owners of the land where you each are joining us from. I'm joining you from the land of origins, Ethiopia. Next slide, please. We'll have a packed agenda for you today. We'll be sharing different information about our conference. We'll talk about the Women Deliver conference. We'll talk about the Women Deliver 26 conference approach, focus, and vision. We'll also share key information about our conference. We'll also share how we're building our conference, our commitments, and our expected outcomes. We'll share information about how to register and participate in the conference. We'll share conference formats, ways to engage before our conference in April 2026. And we'll also share opportunities to partner for our conference. And we'll have a Q&A session. We'll be answering all the questions that you have. And we'll have the closing remarks, and we'll also share more information how to get in touch with us after this webinar. So who are we? So Women Deliver, we are a global advocacy organization. We are dedicated to ensuring every girl and woman can exercise her rights to a full bodily autonomy and health. And what is a Women Deliver conference? Women Deliver conference is a global convening for advancing gender equality. And we have been operating since 2007. We have delivered and hosted 6 global conferences in different parts of the world. We had over 30,000 attendees. And this is really exciting because we work in different continents, and we're the first time coming to your region, to the Pacific and Oceanic region. We're really very excited for that. And our 2026 conference builds on this legacy while we are reimagining what global feminist convening can look like. So our unique approach at our conference would be we embrace a feminist and anti-colonial approach where we are emphasizing a co-leadership, co-creation, targeting themes, measurable outcomes, and strengths our partnership. I think this is what makes our conference very unique because of what we do and our co-leadership. We work with different organizations, different individuals from around the world to co-create our conference. And this is a very unique way of doing conference, and we have tested it, and it's very effective how we make sure that we have all the voices are heard from around the world. And I'll give the floor now to Gretchen.
Thank you, Samson. Hello, everyone. My name is Gretchen Gastey. I'm Director of Convenings at Women Deliver. I'm joining you from Los Angeles, also the unceded lands of the Tongva people. And it's a pleasure to be here today. For me, it's 10 p.m., so it's still Tuesday for me, as Samson said. So Women Deliver is held every 3 years, and we're in a very different context. Every conference is very different. And where we find ourselves right now is a very unique moment for our sector and where we are in the world. So we're really at this global inflection point where we're seeing really strong anti-rights movements gaining ground in all global regions. And we're seeing really a generational opportunity where structures and systems that we have been working within are shifting, some areas crumbling, and we really have this opportunity to look at shifting policies and power and what does this opportunity mean and what direction can we take it in, and really to also look internally at how we work and together as a sector and how we can seize this opportunity. So that's really what we're looking at the conference, what the conference can fill in this moment. So the conference is a platform where we can build feminist infrastructure. We also really center justice and care, centering those that are the most marginalized in community and centering those voices in the conference. That's very important to us, and we'll talk a little bit more about our commitments later on. But really allowing activists and decision makers space to convene together, to co-create strategies, to influence norms and policies. And having it be a justice-centered and community-led approaches to governance and global action. Next slide, please. So key information, of course, as you hopefully all know, the conference is taking place in Narrm, Melbourne, Australia, April 27th through 30th of next year. The location is the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Center, the MCEC. And it's the first time that we are hosting a regionally hosted conference, the Oceanic Pacific region, made up of 22 nation states, territories, many, many islands, a very diverse region, is hosting the conference, and it's taking place in Australia. So this is a new approach for Women Deliver, and it's the first time that the conference will be held in the region. Our theme is Change Calls Us Here. As Samson said, it calls us here today. It calls us here to center First Nations leadership, the lived realities of youth, of climate defenders, and feminist organizers. And we hope that it calls you to join us in April of next year. So we have quite a vision, and it is going to take a lot more than just for the Women Deliver team to put that together. We've had a number of consultations over the past years with many different stakeholders and partners. We did a lot of reflecting after the last conference in Kigali, and did an after action review and did a lot of meetings and consultations with people after the last conference to really think about what is needed for this conference and how do we best meet the moment. And really, how do we create this bold feminist gathering that can meet this moment, that also is representative of our host region, and really thinking about the key issues that we're facing today? And really centering again and co-creating with First Nations and grassroots leaders in the region, but also globally. So we're reimagining how we do global convenings as well. We do want to be kind of a model for how we can co-create these global spaces and really have civil society. These are civil society led. It's a civil society led space. So as I mentioned, it's very much focused on what is the agenda and thinking about the action that we can take and strategizing at the conference. But it's also a place for us to connect, centering joy, centering care for each other, and also centering intergenerational knowledge sharing, intergenerational sharing of wisdom, knowledge, and also just being a joyful space for the movement to be together. Next slide, please. So we have a number of structures that are helping to build and lead the conference. We have a global coordination group, which is a number of organizations, multi-sectoral stakeholders around the world are contributing to the coordination group. We also have a regional steering committee made up of representatives from the Oceanic Pacific region. And we also have a First Nations governance group that is primarily hosted by First Nations leaders and elders in Australia. And then we have another set of working groups around thematics that will take a particular shape around key themes of the conference. So there's a lot of co-creation that is happening around the program design. And there's a lot more opportunities that you'll be seeing for you to help think about what is it that you want to see in the program and opportunities for you to contribute as well. Next slide, please. So here are some of our commitments, the way that we approach convening. Accessibility is really important to us, and that's accessibility in terms of accessing the conference, and that's language accessibility. The conference will be taking place in English, French, and Spanish. So there will be translation and interpretation available, as well as international sign language in the plenaries and sign language interpreters available upon request. So we will work with folks that have that request one-on-one. And we have an accessibility email specifically for accessibility requests so that we can make sure that we're meeting those needs. We're also really excited to work with the MCEC. They're very committed to accessibility, the venue, and we have a lot of information from them to share on what you can expect from the venue and from their surrounding venues and around Melbourne. So we can share that information with you, and a lot of information is already on our website in terms of what you can expect around accessibility. So I encourage you to check out the website, and should you have further questions, please email us at accessibility@womendeliver.org. Safeguarding is also a key commitment of Women Deliver. We do work with a lot of young people. So we have a safeguarding policy. There is zero tolerance for harassment of any kind, and we really prioritize safety and wellness for all, but especially for youth and LGBTQI plus, marginalized, and vulnerable populations. We have a safeguarding policy also on our website, so you can read more details about that. And we are really focusing on sustainability more so than we ever have before. The climate crisis is very much going to be one of the key pillars and key thematics of Women Deliver 2026. And we have to really focus on sustainability. This is something that we have long thought about, but haven't prioritized as much as we could have. So we're thinking about the carbon footprint. We're thinking about how do we leave less of a footprint, and how do we use more digital and less plastic or paper products, etc. So we're really working with all of our vendors and the venues to think about sustainability. And again, you can find more information about all of these commitments on our website. So with the conference, we really thought about what is it that we're trying to achieve. And so two things that we really feel that Women Deliver's best place for our conference to achieve is setting the agenda around key thematics and really thinking about strategy and coming together to have some action plans and thinking together about what is the strategy. When we have all of these people and from different stakeholders coming together, working in different sectors, how do we really take advantage of that? So some of the outcomes that we hope to see are really influencing policy, financial commitments, both from government and philanthropy. We're all very aware of the financial constraints that we are under right now in the shifting financial spaces, and how that's looking very different in the past 6 months than it did a year ago. And so we have to talk about that and think of new strategies and think of new ways of working together. Really thinking about the movement and thinking about solidarity and having it be movement-led. Also thinking about measurable outcomes. Thinking about the feminist agenda post-2030, post-SDGs and beyond. Making those cross-sector alliances, thinking beyond the usual partners and really thinking about other movements and how we make those alliances and build those relationships. And then also thinking beyond the conference and thinking towards other convenings and other global moments beyond Women Deliver to really make that thread so that we don't lose momentum around what we're trying to achieve. And now we're going to get into some more of the logistics, and I will turn it back over to Samson.
Okay, thank you, Gretchen. So we have opened registration on July 7th, and we are already seeing some of the excitement. And I know a lot of people already have started registering for the conference, which is really very encouraging for us. So at the moment, we have our early bird pricing. So if you want to get the opportunity and to get the advantage of that, please register now. That's we offer early bird until end of September 2025. So if you want to know more about how to register, please visit our website, WD2026.org. You'll have more information about how to register there. So our registration fees starts from US $400 in up to go to $950. This is tiered by country categorization and age. And we also provide free companion registration for eligible delegates who are under 18 or and persons with disability. This is part of our commitment for to ensuring accessibility to all our delegates. Our participation categories involves general delegates, and we also have youth and what we call that then the scholarship recipients, which I'll talk about just after this slide. So your registrations will include all full program access, including pre-conferences, which will take place on April 26 and April 27, and will provide lunch to all delegates on from April 28th to 30th. And we provide a tote bag, access to the conference app, and also to all the opportunities for networking with different delegates. You also have access to our exhibition space where we have a lot of activities, including our youth zone will be there. So you'll have all access with your registration. Please note that we don't have a single day pass or on-site registration, so we highly encourage advanced registrations as much as possible, and we'll open registration until we reach the capacity. And from our past experiences, most of the, just like we usually close registration like probably a month before just because of capacity. So we encourage everybody to register as early as possible. Next slide, please. And we are happy to announce that we'll be opening our scholarships on July 18th. This is for our Oceanic and Pacific Youth Scholarship, and it will open on July 8th, and it will be open until 10th August 2025. And scholarships will cover your travel to and from Narrm, your stay during the conference, your visa payment, per diem, and all the accessibility needs. So please check our website again. We'll open our scholarship for the Oceanic Pacific Youth Scholarship on July 18, which is like in 2 days' time. And I'll now give the floor to Christina, who will be providing some information about our visa and travels, accommodation, and also about Melbourne. Over to you, Christy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samson. As Samson said, I'm Christina, and I'm from Aranex. We are the local team here supporting in the delivery of Women Deliver Conference 2026. A big part of our role is to ensure you have a fantastic experience in Melbourne and to guide you on how to get here, where to stay, and what to do while you are here as well. Starting on the visa letter and visa application process, when traveling to Australia, it is important to check if you require a visa to enter the country. Depending on your nationality and the purpose of your visit, participants will need to apply for one of 3 visas to enter Australia, one being the visitor visa, the electronic travel authority, or the e-visitor visa. Your eligibility for these 3 visa types is very dependent on a number of factors, including your country of citizen as per your passport, your purpose of travel, and the duration of your stay, amongst other requirements. There will be information provided on the Women Deliver website with all of this listed out for you as well. Included in that will be a link to the Home Affairs website, which allows you to determine the most relevant visa for your stay. There is a simple survey on that website that guides you to the best visa application for you. Before you apply, it's incredibly important that you gather your required documents for your application. To support you, the Women Deliver team here will provide all registered international participants with a welcome invitation letter, and that will be used to support your visa application. That letter will be sent to you immediately after your registration as a separate email. In addition to this, you will also need a proof of registration to the event. Again, that will also be sent to you as a confirmation email once you have proceeded with your registration. Your application will need to show proof of your payment for the conference registration or your sponsorship for attendance at the event. Please also have prepared a copy of your passport, and you may also be needing to provide evidence of employment or study, your travel history, and in some cases, your financial documents. So please have all of this prepared prior to your application. Once you start your application, you'll be directed to create an account, and then you can upload your documents and any visa fees will be applied. Just some very important notes for visa applications in Australia. An invitation letter does not guarantee visa approval. So it's very, very important that you complete your application as full as possible and with as much accuracy as you can. It's also very important that this is completed in English. So you will need to have your documents translated to English prior to submitting these. Otherwise, your visa may not be approved. From our side, we will support you in the background. So we will be submitting to the Visa Network team all registered participants to the event as further evidence of your purpose to travel. So we will be liaising with the government to support in your visa applications. That being said, if your visa is denied, we cannot guarantee that we will be able to get that approved for you either. So again, I will reiterate the importance of ensuring accuracy in your application. For your visa timeline, please allow a minimum of 3 months prior to the conference to apply for your visa. So further to Samson's message earlier, please register early, making sure that you guarantee your place, but also because you need to apply for your visa a couple of months beforehand. And as a final note on the visa piece, it's really encouraged that you obtain some travel insurance prior to your arrival, because this will help cover your costs attached to your travel in the very unlikely event your visa is denied. That will also support you with that. That being said, we very much are here to support you with your applications along the way. In terms of your travel to Australia, Melbourne is made up of 2 main airports. However, predominantly you will be arriving to the Melbourne Tullamarine Airport. This airport has over 700 flights arriving daily, and our major international hubs include Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur, and Auckland. We do recommend booking your flights early to secure your competitive rates as well. When you arrive into the airport, we do have customs, as do most countries, so please ensure you check what you can bring into the country before you pack your bags. And then when you're in Melbourne, we have fantastic local transport facilities, a very robust public transport system, including trams, trains, and buses. We can help you direct to a Myki card, which is used for travelling on all public transport. And of course, we have services like Uber and taxis. When you arrive to the airport, there is also a service called the Sky Bus. This departs every 15 minutes, 24/7, and is available at a very discounted rate as well. For your accommodation options, the Women Deliver team have secured a large number of hotel offerings for you. These will be advertised on the event website, and these have been secured with discounted rates available for Women Deliver delegates. So we do encourage you to book early due to high demand. We have done our best to secure a range of hotels from budget options right up to 5-star hotel offerings. And as well as this, from an accessibility perspective, we have arranged for rooms to be available for any accessibility needs. Please just let us know what you're looking for. And that also includes family rooms as well. So a little bit about Melbourne. It is known for its vibrant art scene, its multicultural food, and its progressive values. When you get here, April is a fantastic time of year to travel to Melbourne. That being said, there is a very common saying here that you do expect 4 seasons in a day. So please be prepared for a little bit of rain, a little bit of cold, but also some beautiful sunshine as well. But Melbourne is a very safe and welcoming city. And whilst you're here, there's plenty of local attractions, including Federation Square, Royal Botanic Gardens, and the National Gallery of Victoria. We will also have team members available to help book tours for you while you're here, if you wanted to get out and see any of the day trips as well. So just to wrap up on the visa support and travel, a reminder to prepare all of your required documents early for your application and to get that in at least 3 months before you arrive to Australia. But we're really looking forward to welcoming you here, and please do reach out if you have any questions. We're here to help. I'll now pass on to Zara, who will talk to conference format.
Thank you, Christina. Hello, everyone. My name is Zara. I'm the Programs Advisor at Women Deliver. I'm proud to be joining from Wajak Noongar Boodja here in Western Australia, and I also wanted to pay my respects to any First Nations folks joining us. I also would like to acknowledge that this always was and always will be Aboriginal land. I'm excited to be talking to you folks about the conference format. This is going to be my second Women Deliver working for the team. And if I'm being completely transparent, this conference is seriously like no other. We have a range of different formats available that really expand what it means to be inclusive, diverse, and really collaborative across different sectors. I'm going to kick us off with plenaries, which are our main stage sessions. These are really big moments where people come together in one room. I really like to think of them as anchors. They really set the tone each day and bring the energy and collective focus of what we are discussing. Plenaries feature a mix of different speakers from global leaders, activists, artists, young people, and they'll speak to a range of key different focus areas that we are defining. In my opinion, they're really not just about listening, but rather they're about being inspired, being challenged, and thinking deeply about what kind of world we'd like to build collectively together. Next is our concurrents. Concurrents are breakout spaces that run in parallel with one another, offering opportunities for deeper connection of key themes. What's special about concurrents is that they're often community-led, which means you'll be hearing from a range of different people with different lived experiences, grassroots expertise, and bold ideas. From across the world, we'll be having different sessions throughout our concurrent agenda. So I'd definitely be on the lookout for what we've got planned and what expressions of interest opportunities are available in the coming weeks as well. These sessions for the concurrent agenda take place in many different forms: panels, workshops, roundtables, and they're really designed to be interactive. This is where you'll really get to work together and engage in building this vision that we're collectively trying to build throughout the conference. As my colleague Samson mentioned, we also do run pre-conferences, and these are hosted before the conference kicks off. In my opinion, this space is designed to be all about capacity building, connection, and they're really just grounding, especially for first-time delegates who are attending the Women Deliver conference. It's more of a slower and intentional space for the entry into such a global conference. I know for myself in particular, whenever I do enter global conferences, it's always a bit nerve-wracking to find your feet. So the pre-conferences are an amazing way to get to meet people, to orient yourself, and to start shaping your agenda very early on. Running alongside our main program is also our side events. These are independently organised sessions, and they might include advocacy launches, campaign activations, networking events, or consultations. They're flexible, creative, and are led by our partners and our delegates who want to spotlight something important. Side events give us an opportunity to go deeper, be a bit more strategic, and connect across different movements. One of my favourite events of the Women Deliver conference is certainly the Youth Zone. At Women Deliver, young people are not an afterthought, but rather the Youth Zone is a space for youth organising, creativity, and for youth leadership. It's a space led by young people for young people. Now, we're still defining what this program looks like, but it's certainly a space to build power and not just visibility. And whilst it is youth-led, it's really important to recognise that at Women Deliver, we believe in the power of intergenerational welcoming and collaboration. So the Youth Zone is a space that fosters learning across ages and not just the separation. We also have our cultural night. For any folks who are joining from Australia, we just wrapped up NAIDOC week, and I know myself, I joined in a variety of different events across the week that celebrated Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander excellence. So Cultural Night is really just all about that, where we're gathering in Wurundjeri to celebrate the culture of the Wurundjeri community. It's about celebrating the identity, the resilience, and the culture as resistance. Expect so much from this event, from fashion, food, dance, storytelling. It's all led by the local Wurundjeri community. And it's a space for healing and joy, and a reminder that movements are not just sustained by our policies, but also by our connection, celebration, art, and joy. The arts program is also another key element of the conference. As we know, for many folks, art isn't just about a decoration, but it's really intentional in the advocacy space. Art is about how we feel, how we reflect, and how we reimagine. At the Women Deliver conference, you can expect to see installations, performances, murals, and more woven into the space. To me, art is all about creating emotional access to the issues that we'll be discussing. And for many people, art speaks where languages can't. So we'll certainly be incorporating global arts, but also Indigenous art throughout the conference as well. So to wrap up on the conference format, the conference, in my opinion, isn't just a series of events, but it's a living and breathing space that brings together different ways of knowing, sharing, and being. Whether you're stepping into a plenary, attending a workshop, or viewing some art, you're also going to play a huge part in shaping this moment. Next slide, please. Speaking of the concurrent sessions at Women Deliver, I just wanted to provide a deep dive into the expression of interests and what the concurrent sessions are a bit more deeply. The concurrent sessions are designed to complement the main plenaries by offering a more focused interactive space for learning and for collaboration. You'll see a range of different formats here, as I previously mentioned. There'll be workshops, panels, or skill building sessions. And really, these are just defined by the expressions of interest that we do receive. As I mentioned, the concurrent sessions plan to go deeper and connect across movements and explore different practical strategies to addressing some of the global challenges that the conference will be addressing. The exciting part is that the call for proposals for the concurrent agenda will be going live in the next few weeks in August. So please make sure that you are subscribed to the Women Deliver website and newsletter to stay updated. These sessions, as mentioned, bring together a diversity of different voices, and whether you're a feminist leader, a First Nations organizer, or a grassroots activist, as long as you're a registered delegate, you can apply to lead a session. This is your chance to shape the key conversations that are happening in this space, showcase your solutions, and collaborate with others across different thematic tracks. We want these sessions to really reflect the real work happening on the ground in all of its diversity. So if you have something to say, the concurrent expression of interest document is your space to say it. Next slide, please. Thank you. Now, if you're wondering how to engage, and I've seen a variety of different comments and questions in our question box, this is really your moment. The call for the concurrent expression of interest will be going live over the next few weeks. If you have any speaker recommendations, you can certainly reach out to us as well. And an artist's call for artists will also be opening very soon. This is your chance, again, to bring your voice, your ideas, and your creativity into the heart of the conference. And whether you want to run a session, speak on a panel, or share your art, we really want to hear from you, as we know the power of grassroots excellence as well. As I mentioned, I really encourage folks on this webinar to subscribe to our newsletter, which can be found on our website, and to continue to follow us on social media to be updated on future announcements. Now, for those of you who want to bring your work to life in a more of a visual and interactive way, our exhibition space has officially opened for applications. This is your chance to set up a space at the heart of the conference where thousands of delegates will pass through every day. Whether you're showcasing a campaign, an initiative, or a tech solution, or even a community project, this is really the space to connect and to be seen. Each booth is 3 by 3 meter space, fully equipped with lighting, signage, furniture, and power. So you're set up and ready to go. There's also a room to get creative with customization options available as well. The fee is USD $4,500, GST included. And as Gretchen had previously mentioned, the exhibition space will be taking place as well simultaneously where the conference is occurring, the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. But this is super important to note that spaces are very limited and they are first come, first serve. So if this is something that you're considering, I'd highly recommend coming in very early. It's a brilliant opportunity to be part of the energy, the storytelling, the connection that happens beyond the sessions. Now, I'm going to go into a bit of a deep dive into our partnerships with purpose, because this conference isn't just about attending. I think we've made it very clear that this is a space for co-creation across a variety of different contexts, and the partnerships with purpose is another space for co-creation. We've designed a partnership model that allows organizations, funders, and mission-aligned allies to step into real leadership at the conference, whilst also gaining incredible visibility and connection opportunities. I'm going to go through each of the 5 levels of partnership very briefly, but if you do have any further questions, I do recommend reaching out to us via email. At the top tier, we have our visionary partner at $300,000. This includes lead sponsor recognition across the board on the website, app, and signage, including social media as well. This also includes 6 booths, 1 side event, 6 registrations, 6 special event invitations, and both a premium and a standard activation, which I will go into shortly. This is also for those who want to go big and lead boldly. Next, our champion partners. At $200,000, they receive premium acknowledgement, 5 booths, 1 side event, 5 registrations, 5 invitations, and a premium activation opportunity. It's really perfect for those wanting significant visibility and strategic presence. The leader event at $100,000 includes recognition on all of our key platforms and offers 4 booths, 1 side event, 4 registrations, 4 invitations, and 1 standard activation. For organizations wanting to contribute in a meaningful but scaled way, our supporter tier at $25,000 includes 3 booths, 1 side event if confirmed by the 30th of September 2025, and 3 registrations, plus listing on the website and the app. And finally, for NGOs only, we have our ally level at $7,000. You'll be listed on our website and our app, and will have access to 1 booth, 2 side event. No side events, apologies, 2 registrations and visibilities on our website and our app. Every partnership level is more than branding. It's really about joining a global movement and creating lasting impact. If this sparks your interest, as I mentioned previously, I really recommend emailing us, which will be available in the chat function, and we'd love to talk more and find the perfect fit for you. As I mentioned regarding the activations, I thought I would just quickly clarify what activations mean and what they look like at Women Deliver 2026. For our visionary and champion partners, we're offering premium activations. This means that your brand can be front and center in some of the most strategic and high impact spaces across the conference. This includes the SRHR Advocacy Hub, the Nursing and Family Care Lounge, and Stories That Empower stage. For visionary and leader tiers, we also offer standard activations, which are all about creating meaningful and inclusive experiences for every delegate. These include branded opportunities across areas within our digital and inclusion and accessibility partner space, my apologies, within the charging and network stations and the making gender equality visible stations as well. I also just wanted to quickly mention that these activations are more than just logos on walls. They're really purposeful and curated spaces that support connection, access, and movement building. So again, if you do have any interest, I'd recommend you to email us, and we can provide further correspondence on potential collaborations. Don't forget, confirming your sponsorship by 30th of September means that you will receive priority exhibit booth selection, additional conference registrations, and early access to activation opportunities. As I mentioned, if you'd like to learn more, head on over to WD2026.org or email us at sponsorship@womendeliver.org to connect with our team. And as always, in the words of our CEO, Maliha Khan, convenings are not optional. It's one of the most effective tools we have to accelerate real change. Thank you, and we can't wait to see how you'll be a part of it. Passing back over to my colleagues Samson and Gretchen for the Q&A segment.
Thank you so much, Zara, for taking us through the very robust program. So I'm going to go through some questions. Thank you to everybody that has submitted questions to the Q&A. I know that we've been trying to answer some in the chat. and I'm going to post some live. So, Samson, I'm going to ask you a couple logistics questions first. So first, what will happen if we're refused a visa after we've already paid for registration?
Yes, it's something that we can discuss once. If you are refused a visa, please let us know. I mean, at WD2026 at womendeliver.org, and we'll take it from there. We'll discuss how we can refund some of your registration fee. So we can discuss this one-to-one, and we hope it won't happen, but it's something that we could be able to discuss.
Okay, next question, Samson. Will the conference be available online if you can't join in person?
No, at the moment, we're not offering an online opportunity for the conference. It's only at the moment where we're thinking is it's only in-person conference, but we'll be recording some of the sessions, especially the plenaries and opening sessions and closing sessions, which will be available after the conference. But at the moment, we're not doing. We're not providing a virtual option for the conference.
So I'm going to answer the next question regarding outcomes and major financial commitments. Are you expecting governments to send delegates to the conference? So yes, we do expect governments to participate in the conference. There's always various governments around the world from different regions represented, from local to heads of state. In Kigali, we had 5 heads of state participate. We also had a ministerial forum with around 40 ministers, a parliamentarian forum, and local government officials as well. So there is a significant government presence at Women Deliver conferences. And there also have been financial commitments made and announced by governments at Women Deliver. So there is a history of that. Regarding financial commitments, we also hope to see commitments made outside of governments as well. Philanthropic commitments and commitments by other funds, feminist funds, joint commitments made. So these are all things that we hope to see these commitments made at WD 2026. Another question is, who are the First Nations people and initiatives already involved? So our First Nations governance group is led by the Wurundjeri people, where our land is, whose land we are hosting the conference on. They officially gave their blessing to host the conference in their country and on their land, and they are chairing the First Nations governance group. There are also going to be other First Nations leaders who are involved in that group from Australia. And we have had conversations and are connected with other First Nations leaders from different regions of the world. So we expect Indigenous and First Nations representation at the conference, not just from Australia and from the region, but from other places globally. But the First Nations governance group is really primarily it's focused on the region and in Australia. Let's see, next question. Samson, I'll ask you this question. What is the capacity and how many attendees do you expect?
Yes. Okay. So we expect to have between 6,000 to 8,000 delegates at the Melbourne conference. But I know that the Melbourne Conference Center can have more than that, but it's also it depends on the capacity and what we can offer to our delegates. Maybe if I could share our experiences from the past 2 conferences, for example, in 2019 in Vancouver, we had 8,000 people, and we reached our capacity, but we had like 2,000 people on our waiting list. And in our last conference, we had 6,500 people, and we had 2,400 people on our waiting list. It's just that we want to provide our delegates the best experience. Delegate experience is the most important thing for us. It's not the number of people, but we want to make sure that our delegates have access to the different conference facilities and things like that. So we expect to have 8,000 people, and we'll be in discussion with our conference centers how many we can extend. But at the moment, we're thinking about 8,000 people.
Thank you, Samson. Another question is there an opportunity to volunteer with the conference team? Well, I appreciate that you would like to work with us. We're not accepting volunteers at the moment. We typically do have volunteers at the conference itself. That isn't open yet, and we haven't determined what that's going to look like quite yet. It is usually people that are local to the city where the conference is hosted, though. So if there are opportunities, we will share that in our newsletter or on the website. So that would be how you can find out if they are, but there's none available at the moment. Let's see, next question. Is there an opportunity to work with the steering committee or subcommittees? So we're not taking additional members to the regional steering committees or those subcommittees. There was an application, and that process has already taken place, and those have been formed. So we're not accepting new members necessarily. However, if you are interested in a specific topic or working or you have a program that you would like to see if there's a fit in working with the steering committee or highlighting that in some way, or you're curious about something and have a question about what they're working on, please just email us and we can try and facilitate whatever you're interested on and connecting you to the steering committee. So you can email us at WD2026 at womendeliver.org. Let's see, next question. In addition to the concurrent spaces and exhibition, are there other spaces where delegates can co-curate and lead panels? So we're still determining some other programmatic elements. So the concurrent sessions are, as Zara said, are the next upcoming opportunity to submit your ideas for panels. We also will likely open side events in a few months, or I'm not exactly sure when we're going to open that yet, but that would be another opportunity to submit for a session. And then there are going to be other opportunities potentially coming up that we just haven't determined all of the programmatic elements yet. We are still kind of working on that design process with our various working groups. So again, just please stay in touch and sign up for the newsletter, and that's the best way to keep updated on what those opportunities are. Samson, could you talk a little bit about pre-conferences if people are interested in a pre-conference?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Gretchen. So pre-conferences take place on April 26th and April 27th. That is one day before the official opening of the conference. It will take place at the Melbourne Convention and Conference Exhibition Center. So we usually work with different organizations who want to hold a pre-conference, and pre-conferences can be a full day or a half day event where delegates have the opportunity to have another experience before the start of the conference. And the topics usually differ from it depends on the organizers, and usually work on our overall arching thematic themes of the conference. If organizations who wants to organize a pre-conference, they should reach out to us at WD2026 at womendeliver.org, and we can provide more information about it, and we can provide the different options and the cost and on how you want to organize a conference. Pre-conferences are attended only by delegates who are registered for the official conference, and delegates must have a badge to access our pre-conferences.
Thank you, Samson. And then the last question we'll pose is, can you talk a little bit more about the initial key themes of climate justice, anti-rights, and strengthening multilateral action? So these are some of the key themes that came up through our consultation process that we've met with lots of different stakeholders and partners and folks over the past year and a half on what are some of the key thematics that you think are really important right now for the sector to discuss and would be really key to have as key topics and themes at Women Deliver 2026. So these are three of them that really rose to the top, but they're certainly not the only three topics that will be discussed at Women Deliver. It's a big tent. It is gender equality at large. There's many topics that fit under that. So for instance, the concurrent sessions, that application is still very wide, and you could submit lots of different topics for a concurrent session. But when we're talking about those key themes, it certainly will play a big role in the conference. When we're thinking about what do we want to achieve at the conference, we really want to shift the narrative around the nexus of gender and climate. We are going to be talking about that on the plenary stage. You're going to see a lot of concurrent sessions and a lot of dialogue around the climate crisis. And we're going to be talking a lot about how do we really push build solidarity in our movement and really push through some of these challenges that we're facing in this moment, and thinking about how do we strengthen the multilateral system when it's in kind of this period of crisis, or how do we make these changes when we're in this really global inflection point where things are really shifting. So those are going to be key topics, but certainly not the only ones. And it will continue to be a big tent with lots of diverse topics related to gender equality. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that you had posed in the Q&A. Again, please reach out to us via email if you have more. There was one comment that I did want to address in the Q&A that someone mentioned about priorities and protections. We had specifically called out youth and LGBTQIA+, and noting that there's a spike in hate crimes against particularly Muslim women and Islamophobia. And I just want to say that there is no tolerance for hate speech or harassment or abuse of any kind at the conference. That is in the registration policies that everybody has to sign off on when they register for the conference. And there is a zero tolerance policy for that. So if anybody is not adhering to that policy that they signed off, they will be removed from the conference. So that is very much to the core of what Women Deliver stands for, centering and safeguarding those that are the most marginalized and centering their voices, and really thinking about their safety at the conference is paramount. So just wanted to acknowledge that. And I think we'll wrap up the Q&A. Thank you so much for joining and spending this hour with us. We invite you to register, spread the word, share on social media, and continue engaging with us. We're really glad that you answered the call to join this webinar, and we hope that you will continue to engage with us through the upcoming opportunities over the next 8 months till the conference, and that we see you in Narrm in April. And just to wrap up, again, that's our website, and email us at WD2026@womendeliver.org. And please subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on social media, because that's where we share all of our information. So thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure to be with you here today.